Hey everybody, what is going on? CanadianFlash here, guys, and recently Hytale was announced the cover game for Edge Magazine's March magazine, and in that magazine they mentioned that Hytale has around 7,000 different prefabs in it. So in today's video I'm going to be talking about all the prefabs that we know in Hytale and where you can find them all. So this video is going to be breaking down into zone 1, 2, 3, 4, underwater, and other. So if you guys want to see more from this, make sure to hit that like button. If you're part of that 7 or 80% of people that aren't subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Other than that, guys, enjoy the video. Also, guys, make sure you stay till the end of the video where I do some shout outs to people who comment on a lot of my videos, because honestly I'm really grateful for all you guys who are just always there commenting on my videos. So if you guys want a shout out, make sure you guys comment and stuff down below.
Now I gotta ride or die.
Hey everybody, what is going on? CanadianFlash, you guys, and today everybody we are going to be taking a look at all the prefabs that we know so far in Hytale. By the way, not sure if I missed any. I went through the Hytale website, all the blog posts and all the tweets, like as much as I can, but if I did miss any prefabs in there, please make sure to let me know in the comments down below, because I probably did miss some that I haven't got to, but I tried to get as many as I possibly could. Some of them are all like a bunch of different Quebec villages or a bunch of different Torque things, so I didn't add every single one of those because they all look the same. But other than that, I probably got all the big ones that we have so far, like ziggurats, we have like Slothian villages, and all those good things. So let's get right into this. We're going to start off with zone 1. And I did organize them a little bit, so it's like prefabs, and it's going to have like stone circles, and that's like work stuff. So we're going to take a look at this right now. So we're going to take a look at all of them right now. So to start off, we have this beautiful plain over here, and on the right side we have what looks to just be like a starter level castle. As you can see, there's skeletons beside it defending it. So you could probably just raid that in the beginning of the game just to get some little beginner loot. Next up we have what looks to be a lot bigger castle. There's Torque's Guardian because there is a Torque camp on the right, and the castle looks really cool. I love how the trees grow on the side. Everything looks amazing about it, by the way. And you could probably raid Torque, or maybe you could raid the castle first, get the loot to raid the Torque camp, or vice versa, get the Torque loot to raid the castle. I think that'll be really cool. That's awesome. Then we have the Goblin Den, which is going to be a prefab which has jars, wood cases, stone caskets, and rotten barrels in it. It's probably very beginner loot, nothing too big from that. Just you raid that, probably kill one goblin or maybe 2 or 3, and then get their little like loot and stuff. We also have dungeon entrances. This is probably going to be in every single zone, so I'm just going to go through them all right now so I don't have to go through all of them when I go to zone 3 and zone 4. So we have the zone 1 portal entrance, which looks awesome. We have the main inspiration and scale, which you can see the void spawn on it. You have the O2, which is going to be the zone 2 hopefully opening door. O3, which is the portal underground. Then you have these this like light brown, and then the orange, which I'm assuming will be in zone 2. We have the door and the lanterns. Nothing too big about these, just portal entrances, which you can probably assume which will be randomly found in games. Then we have what looks to be inside of a goblin den, which would be really cool, but it looks a little higher level than what we saw earlier because it has a golden chest. The goblins are throwing bombs now. You know, another cool little thing. And then this looks like the side of the goblin den, because you can see the little golden chest. In the bottom you just have pillars in there, just another small little prefab. Then you also have this castle over here, nothing too big. You can't really see any mobs inside, but I'm assuming you can just raid this castle and get some cool loot out of it. After that you have a much bigger castle. I really do like the castle look in Hytale. I'm not sure if this is a player's base, or I'm not sure if any of these castles are just players' bases or that you can raid them, but they do have, there's a hole in the roof on the top, and what looks to be like a chair on the top of the other pillar, so I'm pretty sure that could be like a watchtower, which would be really awesome. So I think this is another prefab that you guys can probably raid, get some beginner loot. After that, there are dungeons and towers. I'm going to put, these ones go through all the zones because there's ice ones, so it's going to be like zone 3, there's sand ones for zone 2. But I just want to talk about all like the combined ones I'm going to be talking about in zone 1. So I'm going to start off with the zone 1 with this jungle tree with like what looks to be a jungle temple from Minecraft behind it. It looks really cool. They have a pillar on the top which could be like Gaia's temple, maybe, you never know. And then also has a cool little pillar. These are very probably beginner sketch designs, which I really like. They look really great. We have some zone 2 ones on the bottom over here. You can see there's like little holes which kind of look like Sarak or maybe termites. I don't know if there's termites in Hytale, but it looks like what something a termite would make. And then we have another cool little like walkway into like what looks to be a fox, not too sure, and under a tree. And then we have some 2 Zone 3 ones, which a little mob is frozen in ice. And then you have, which looks like an ice, like little dungeon, but like the doors look like keys, which is kind of cool. And then we have crawlers into like underdown dungeons. I'm not sure what zone this is going to be. I'm just going to say zone 1 just so I can put it, all the stuff I don't know is probably going to be zone 1. After that we have what looks to be a guy with very beginner wood armor running out of a goblin den. So he probably got the loot from earlier, and then now he's running out with the loot. Looks like he probably got this iron helmet, these iron gauntlets, and this iron sword, because it looks a lot different than the wood stuff that he's wearing. And then we have a Quebec village. This is probably the only Quebec image that I'm going to add in there. There's a bunch of different Quebec pictures, but I'm just not going to put them all in because there's like a million of them. But you get the idea. The Quebec village is a bunch of like lanterns and trees and everything like that near water. And then we have a portal, which I'm assuming is going to be the portal to Gaia, because you can see the 2 little Gaia statues on the side. Nothing too big, so let's move on from that. And then we have stone circles. I did add these in all of them. So we have the earth stone circle, we have the sandstone circle, the frost stone circle, which zone 3 is confirmed to be water stone circles. I'll get into that later. And then we have firestone circles. They do talk about that in the Edge magazine, by the way. I'll leave a link in the description if you guys want to buy it. Alright, so now we're going to move on into these stone circles part of zone 1, because I really find these extremely interesting and I want to talk about them quite a bit. So you get to see stone circles. We have what looks to be the earth crystals in the middle. You can probably get these earth crystals, put them in your little staff, which what you can see in the trailer as that girl throws that fire thing at that big mob. So I love stone circles. I can't wait. Elements are probably going to be one of my favorite parts of Hytale. And then we have what looks to be like dull stone crystals. They look different. Like the one in the picture before is a lot more vibrant than the one you can see now. I'm not sure if it's just a nighttime effect with lighting or everything, but these crystals do look a little dull, and it looks very dark and purple and gloomy, and we know that Varen has a purple gloomy glow, so I'm not sure if Varen will corrupt these crystals. Maybe, I'm not sure, but that would be really cool. And then we could see more stone crystals. I'm pretty sure these are stone crystals. They look a lot different. You can see some crawlers and whatever, they look like endermites, but I think this is a very early picture, or like early on picture, but also where the crystal would be sitting is missing, so I'm not sure if that would have to do with anything. This is a very early on picture. The mobs do not look finished yet. And I think this is going to be the last stone circles picture, and we just have the 2, like there's a pedestal and 2 crystals are missing. It is guarded by some skeletons and a zombie. Nothing too big, just this looks like another very early on picture, because the game is not fully rendered in yet. It doesn't look as beautiful as the other pictures look before that. And no, this is the last picture. This looks a lot better in my opinion. You get to see the stone crystal around. Everything looks more vibrant. All the colors look amazing, and it's just more eye-catching in my opinion. Oh, okay, well maybe this one's the last picture. This is the last one. It's just a stone, like the crystal's still there, so nothing too big. And now we're gonna move on to the torque camps. So this is once again a torque camp. There's going to be many torque pictures. I just like the torque, so I decided to add them all into here. We have the guy running into the torque camp. I'm assuming this is for the bounty, because this is where they were talking about bounties in Hytale. Another really cool picture. We have a torque just sitting there, a torque hunter in the back. We get to see the little like camps on the top right. Nothing too big. I do like it. They all look amazing. I love the prefabs in Hytale. You get to see a carrot on a stick, which is really cool. Then we get to see a torque in his outpost. He's just wandering around. There's a little torque in the back that you can see. He's a scout, nothing too big. He's just up there in his outpost. Then we have a guy in like full thorium armor, I don't even know, iron armor, I'm gonna call it iron armor, raiding a torque camp. He's about to fight the chieftain, which you probably don't want to do right in the beginning of the game because he's the head torque, so you don't want to fight him. But the torque camp it looks really cool. I love how it looks. Everything's amazing about it. Then we have another torque. He's gonna be this is one of my favorite pictures. It's just such good detail. I don't know how they managed to get it, but it looks super amazing. He's just in front of the fire in his base. And then we have another torque camp. This is the picture with every single different type of torque. Which awesome. I really like it. You got the shaman, you got the warrior, you got the hunter, you got the chieftain. It's just everything's there. Everything's there. It's awesome. You get to see the torque like pictures in the background. Kind of looks like pillager bases from Minecraft actually. And then we just have a little bit more prefabs. We have another small little castle that you guys can probably raid. And that's to start off zone 2, we have what looks to just be another like castle that you guys can raid, but then it goes underground into a bunch of different mine shafts, which is honestly really cool. I'm really a fan of this image. I love how it just breaks into it like just a mine shaft or like a cave entrance that you guys can just mine out. I would love to see this in the game, and 100% if I see this in the game, I'm going down into the caves. What we have another castle that's from a pretty recent blog post actually. Everything's good about it, you know. You have the wood on the tops, you know, just holding up the sand, which is pretty realistic, honestly. I really am enjoying this. And I love like the little like the sand texture, like the sand color, and then they have the blue. That just really brings it out. It's really nice. Also, we have a what looks to be a lot harder prefab for you guys to take out because it has a bunch of different type of Zone 2 skeleton warriors on it, and there's probably going to be really good loot once you finish taking them all out. I'm really excited. I can't wait to take on all these prefabs. 100% I'm going to be doing tutorials on how to defeat all these prefabs. If they're hard, if they're super easy, I'm not going to do a tutorial on it. Then we have what looks to be inside one of these dungeons, or maybe just whatever you can come across in a cave. Nothing too big, just barrels. You could probably break them, get some loot. Then we have some more concept art actually. We have the military outpost here on the right. We have a watchtower on the top left, trading posts with weak wood walls. We have the material swaps, military, they got horses, stands, coops, courtyards, wells, dungeons, barracks, and they also have an entrance. The trading post has watchtowers, courtyards, stalls, and ruined cavern or caravan. Ruined caravan, don't know what that is, but there we go. More prefabs you can see in zone 2. And one of my favorites personally in zone 2 is the ziggurat. I am a huge fan of ziggurats. Everything about them just for some reason reminds me of Beyblade, because in the end of season 2 Metal Masters they try to fly away in a ziggurat, which is really cool. Ziggurats are just amazing. I'm assuming that they're going to be the home of the Saraks, and they have the image of the Sarak rune on them, so it's pretty obvious that the Saraks live in these places. So there's a bunch of different images. They're all concept art right now, but hopefully once we get closer to the release of the game, you get to see what the ziggurat would look like in game. So on the top right, we just have a picture of a ziggurat. We have a sand palace, probably going to be the main ziggurat. We have regular ziggurats here in the middle, and then we have on the top right, we have what looks to be like a concept art of the ziggurat. It's all drawn in, but it's still a regular picture of Hytale. They just put a ziggurat in there. We have a prison ziggurat, which is really cool. So there's walls fortifying it so you can't get in. I can't wait to see the storyline for ziggurats. Maybe you have to unenslave some ferrets so you guys can build up their trust. Then we have what looks to be the void spawn, but that's not the only thing I want to touch in this video. We get to see some wind crystals, because wind is going to be the element in zone 3 and zone 2. We do know that is confirmed because the Ferrets of zone 2, they wear freedom bracelets which have the wind element on them, and this is a very nice picture. I would like maybe the void spawn to be blurred, and then we can unblur the wind crystal, but whatever, you can't have everything. It's really cool. I guess he's going to be protecting what looks to be the wind crystals in Hytale. Then we have another dungeon with a player in the full green armor. I'm not sure what the green armor is called on the top of my head, but he's just fighting one of these skeletons, and he's probably going to get that chest to get the loot. Then we have just these two cat creatures. Nothing important. I just saw some like pillars in the background, so added it as one of the prefabs. Then we have, which could be a house, could be a fair and village, could be just a regular prefab that you just stumble across. So I just added this in because it is a pre-built structure. It looks really cool, so I think it might be a prefab. And then we have another dungeon actually, which is really nice. We have 2 skeletons guarding the dungeon. There's probably going to be chests on the top over there. Nothing, just a beginner level dungeon for you guys to raid in zone 2. And then we have a picture of what could be the top of a ziggurat. I'm not too sure. There are Saraks flying around it, And in the trailer, there is something that looks just like this, which I assume is a ziggurat. So I'm gonna call this a ziggurat. I'm not sure what type of ziggurat it's gonna be, but it's just gonna be a ziggurat because you get to see these the locust saracs flying around it. And then we have, I'm gonna zoom in on this one over here. We get to see what a player is when he fights in one of the Zone 2, like, Zone 2 dungeons. You get to see that the skeletons do have health bars above them, which is really cool. I'm not sure if this is a confirmed feature yet, but it seems pretty confirmed to me, so we're just gonna leave that right there. And then we have another little base in the bottom of this picture down here, which could be another little dungeon, could be a house, not too sure, just I'm assuming it's a prefab. And that's all we have for Zone 2. So we're going to move on into Zone 3, my favorite zone, as you guys know. So we have the Hytale concept arts for the Outlanders. We have the Outlander pools, the shaman lives in the tallest buildings, we have the corrupted fountains, we have the corrupted Outlander bases. These are all were once well maintained, but now they are under the influence of Aaron, so they use his magic to like achieve eternal life. Just really cool for the Outlanders. We have an Outlander base over here with one of the Outlanders just in front of a fire. You get to see the bases that they have. Looks really cool. I love the architecture for the Outlanders in the snowy environment. It's just amazing. You get to see a Zone 3 dungeon. I'm assuming this is Zone 3, not too sure, but it just for some reason just gives me a Zone 3 feel, so I added it into the Zone 3. We have another Zone 3 dungeon. You get to see, I'm assuming it's Zone 3 again because it's snow. There's snow on the left. There's a skeleton. It is a Zone 1 skeleton archer, but there's snow, so I'm gonna just take a guess and say it's Zone 3, unless Zone 3 connects to Zone 1 and this part's Zone 1, that part is Zone 3. We have a mine entrance from Zone 3. Looks really awesome. Can't wait for that. Once you go into the mine, it's just gonna be amazing. I'm super excited for this game. We have another Outlander base over here. We have the giant watchtower for the Outlanders. Looks super cool. There's another watchtower on the right, watchtower on the middle. It's just amazing how much detail they put into these. It's crazy. Another part of the Outlander base, we get to see that. It's like a different angle now this time. Really cool. Everyone's probably seen all these images a million times and have that picture already. And then we get to see, for our first time, we get to see some water crystals, which is the element in Zone 3. Zone 3 we know is the ice biome, and you can't have ice without frozen water, so water is the element in Zone 3. Also, we do know that the Outlanders use water magic, so that's probably another big aspect to why they have water crystals in Zone 3. I'm loving it. These look really cool. I will get a high quality image to put on the screen for everybody so that you can see it in like good quality. And behind it is an Outlander base, which is really awesome. And then we have another picture of an Outlander base. Basically, they're all just going to be Outlander bases. That's all we have for Zone 3 so far. We do have like caves, but I'm not going to count those as prefabs because those are just randomly generated into the world. So that's all we have about Zone 3, guys. Nothing really too big. It's just all Outlander stuff. And if I did miss anything, remember to make sure to comment it down below. And then last but not least, one of the last ones, we have Zone 4. We don't have much on Zone 4, but you get to see a lot in these 4 images that I have from Zone 4. So you have a big like castle temple in the back, and then you go to look to the left, you have a whole village in the back, which is really cool. We literally know little to nothing about Zone 4, like the servers of Zone 4. We do know a little bit about the underground like dinosaur habitat in Zone 4, but we really don't know much. Then we have what looks to be an old Gaia temple now corrupted by Varen. We have 2 players going in, about to fight the Void Spawn, entering the temple. This is probably very late game, as you can tell by the armor and the capes that this guy has on, the shield, the weapons that they have, what type of bow does she have. It's really cool. Everything about this image is just amazing, and I'm super excited. And then we have what looks to be the underground like lake or caverns in Zone 4. I love the wildlife. It just reminds me of Jurassic Park. I love Jurassic Park. Also, it kind of reminds me of what's that movie? Ice Age: Dawn of the Dinosaurs. You get to see, this is where you get to see Slothians. Really cool. Super excited for that. I love Slothians. One of my favorite animals in Hytale. We literally know nothing about them, but they do live in Zone 4 where the cave rexes live, so like watch out, buddy. And also there is another picture of a cave rex going into a Slothian like village right now. Like poor Slothian, he's gonna I don't know if they work with the cave rexes. That would be really cool, but it's not looking too good for you, buddy. Honestly, there is a cave rex about to take out the slothy, and like he's gonna be a little dead. Honestly, I guess he likes some shish kebab or something. So that's all we have on Zone 4. Really nothing too big. But then now we're gonna take a look at underwater. There's only 3 pictures that I have for underwater that I consider prefabs. So we're gonna take a look at them right now. So the first image is this little underwater like rune right here. It's just, I'm not sure if there's any loot in there, but it's a little pillar that's underwater. It probably wasn't underwater at one point, but now it is. So a little underwater rune. And then there are there's probably like millions or hundreds of just different sunken ship prefabs in Hytale. But this is the only one. There's 2, and I just got this one. And there is one in the trailer that you guys get to see. But this guy's swimming up to the boat, probably to get some cool loot. But there is, you know, hammerhead sharks and what are those guys called? Those little fish people. I forget their names, but they're coming after him. And good luck to this guy. Honestly, I don't think he can outrun some sharks. And last but not least, we have this underwater sunken ship, which is like a really big ship, which is really cool. You get to see a lot of different fish and everything. There's sharks in the background, and there's probably some really good loot on there. And now we're going to move on to the last part of the prefabs, which is the other tab, and it's going to be like Numdrazzle or the other different planets or anything to do with Gaia. So first up we have the Gaia portal, and I'm not sure what this is going to be, if it's going to be in Zone 1. I'm assuming it's going to be in Zone 1, but you walk into the Gaia portal, you go underground into the portal, and then there's different elements, like, you know, you have the wind, the earth, the fire, the lightning, and the water element. You go into the portal, you travel to the Temple of Gaia, which I'm assuming is going to be on the planet Numdrazzle, but I really think this is going to be late game. You probably aren't going to be able to go into the Temple of Gaia like right away. I'm assuming you're going to need to take the crystals from each zone, like those element crystals, the stone crystals that you can get from there. So if you pick up the earth crystal, you run back to the Temple of Gaia, put it in there, it's locked. You go into Zone 2, take the wind crystal, put it into the Temple of Gaia, it's locked in there. You go into Zone 3, pick up the water crystal, there you go. You go into Zone 4, pick up the fire crystal, you put it in there. We don't know anything about lightning crystals, but I do have a theory there are lightning crystals in the Torque Shaman's little staff, so that would be a really cool one to get. But then there's also theories in Zone 5 and 6, how there's like little lightning clouds. I'm not sure if those are going to be the lightning elements that are very, very late game. I'm assuming lightning is going to be a very late game element though. And then we also have the Temple of Gaia dungeon. Temple of Gaia dungeon looks really cool. The first thing you notice is obviously the colors on it, but what I first noticed is that Gaia is like sleeping on this little pedestal, which is, I'm not sure if Gaia's power is taken and we have to bring it back. That's what I'm assuming the storyline is going to be for Hytale. But you get to see the lightning element, the fire element, the water element, the wind element, and the earth element. Everything looks awesome. You go into those portals, you probably enter through here, walk across, and then boom, there you go. And after that, you're probably going to get to the corrupted golem. So yeah, it's probably gonna start off not being corrupted, and then once the storyline goes out, the golem will be corrupted by Varen and all of his minions and everything. And then here's a bunch of different like portal entrances for like a bunch of different elements. So I'm assuming the purple one is gonna be void. I'm not sure where that's gonna be. Maybe in Zone 5 or 6. We have what looks to be wind or water. We have wind on the top. We have ice, fire, water, and probably more water. I'm not sure, and these are not confirmed. And then obviously we have Gaia like statues made by Farens and Quebecs. They both really worship Gaia. We have another image of what looks to be a Gaia temple. I don't think this one will go underground. Well, it does go underground, but it won't lead into the Gaia temple, but it does have the Gaia symbol on it, so I'm assuming it is a Gaia temple. And then we have a picture of a corrupted golem in Gaia's temple, which looks really cool. I love this picture so much. So guys, that is all the prefabs that we know so far. And remember guys, if I did miss anything, just let me know in the comments down below. I'm sure that I did miss some, and because there's over 7,000, and I probably did miss a lot of them. So I'm gonna give a shout out to Quilts that commented something down below. He was the guy at the end of my video. I said, guys, comment something down below, and he did. So we got pinned comment. Good for you. Also like to give a shout out to Archie, who's always on my videos. Happy Lemur, shout out to you. You're always commenting. And Andrew TEC Gaming, always commenting. I'm gonna go into the Hytale farming breakdown video, where the only 2 comments, Blue Eternity, Thank you very much. And Philip Resnick, thank you very much. You guys get another shout out. And we're gonna go into the bounty hunting in Hytale. I'm trying to find one specific guy who's always commenting on my Twitter too, which is really nice of him. Caleb Pettingill. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong. Shout out to you. You're always there. You're one of my like favorites. I don't have favorites. Clearly, definitely not. So yeah, shout out to you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. If you're still watching, honestly, comment down. Chicken nuggets. Yep, chicken nuggets down below. So thank you guys so much for watching. New videos every Monday and Friday. And if there is a blog post on like a Wednesday or something, I will get a blog post video out on the Wednesdays. But other than that, every video's every Monday and Friday. So thank you guys so much for watching, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.